Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Tuesday the 20th of February 2024. Today's Millwall news, we start off with this from the southwarknews.co.uk. Joe Edwards analyses Millwall's worrying issue with failing to come back in games where they've gone behind. When the Lions can concede the first goal in a game, things do not tend to go to plan. Joe Edwards has admitted it has been difficult to get on top of Millwall's struggles with going behind. Saturday's 2-0 loss against Sheffield Wednesday was just the latest example of the Lions conceding the first goal and failing to come back to win a game. Since a 2-1 victory over West Bromwich Albion in October 2022, when John Swift scored the first goal, Millwall failed to win any of the 26 games when they've conceded the opening goal. It is also only 3 points gained from losing positions this season. Draws against Hull City, Preston and Watford all in October, while under Edwards, Millwall have yet to recover even a draw after conceding the first goal. So obviously they're saying all in October. That was under the previous managers. I think the Watford game was Adam Barrett, was it not? Asked about the trend, the Millwall boss said, it's really difficult. You can only keep just working on the areas that you feel you need to improve in. No team has any right to expect to dominate any championship game from the first minute to the 90th, apart from maybe the teams at the very top, your Leicesters and Southamptons. But we can't hang on to that too much if we start well, because games are going to ebb and flow. The reality is what's affecting our results at the moment, but also the feeling of our games, and the feeling in the stadium is defined in both boxes. When we have games where we're creating chances, we're either not taking them or we're just not creating big enough moments. And down our end, there's too many moments at the Den when there's a lot going on, huffing and puffing between the boxes. And then they get into our box, it's a goal, and we're 1-0 down. We do work and focus and analyse how we protect and position to defend our box. We do loads of finishing, crossing runs into the box. We do the work and we see the good stuff on the training pitch, and it's got to start coming to fruition. Because I'm sure some Mill fans that might hear me say that, and they're probably as bored of hearing it as I am saying it, but it's the only way to try and keep improving. Yeah, the only way to try and keep improving is to keep doing the same thing over and over. Like that's a well-known maxim, that if you keep trying to do the same thing over and over and just not get the results don't change, that makes you a genius. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Millwall captain, man in the picture, Sean Hutchinson, not close to first team return, but Burnley Loney said to be available to play at Southampton. Well, that's good news, isn't it? We might get one of those goals I see it here, so many people talking about. Sean Hutchinson is still a few weeks away from being back available for Millwall's relegation battle. The former Fulham and Motherwell centre-back has been a big miss for the Lions. Hutchinson has been out since he scored the only goal in a 1-0 win at Bristol City on New Year's Day, the last victory that the struggling South Londoners collected. Hutch is still a few weeks away, Millwall head coach Joe Edwards told the South London Press. I think he's aiming to rejoin training properly in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how that goes. Then it's a case when we get him back on the training pitch of building him back up. We have quite conservative in how we build him back up again, given what's happened to him. Having players out for long periods of time is part of the game that every manager and club has to deal with. That's why you have a squad. You have to call on other players in the squad to step up and fill the holes and perform. But Hutch is club captain and very experienced. He knows what it takes to play for Millwall, and even in this recent period, which has been difficult for us as a group, Hutch has shared his experience with a lot of the younger, newer players, that this club has been in tougher times before, that you kind of have to step on and face it. He's trying to share that experience as much as he can, but when he's got that experience, he's been there, got through tough moments and led the back line in Millwall teams of the past. It's certainly something we've been missing. My most successful period here as the coach was that Christmas period where Hutch played well against Norwich, and then against Bristol City. It was a big part of that back line was doing. He's a big miss for sure. Burnley lone striker Michael Obafemi missed the last 2 games due to illness. Obafemi's been back in this week. He'll have this week under his belt, said Edwards. Albeit he got outdoors yesterday and he did a session. It was not with the team, it was a physical football session, just to get the cobwebs off. He's got this week leading to Southampton game, so he's back when available. That's good. That's what you want, isn't it? When a very highly rated and probably one of the better strikers in your squad doesn't train with the other players. I'm sure that's gonna help score those goals that we hear so much about. There was a game today, match day today. It was the under-21s. They went all the way to Bristol City, and they drew. Again, it's an away game. It's a tough game. It's a team that's second in the league, but they're not as bad as Colchester. And they had a player sent off in the first half, but they ended up getting a penalty at the end of the game. So there's not much of a match report, just what happened. Millwall under-21s drew 1-1 with Bristol City in the Professional Development League on Tuesday afternoon. Henry Hearn gave the Lions an early lead at the Robbins High Performance Centre, but the hosts, who had Tommy Blackwell sent off in the first half, managed to salvage a draw from the penalty spot with 15 minutes to play. Kyle Smith made his return from injury in the second half, while Shamar Lawson captained the side in the West Country. The next up for Millwall under-21s is a fixture against Ipswich Town at the Den on Tuesday the 27th of February. So there you go. The second game this season at the Den. The first one was all the way back in like August or something, I think. It's been a long old time. So under-21 game. I think that's a 2 p.m. kickoff. I'm not too sure. I'll let you know obviously next week. But there you go. So the team for this game was Waddy, Walker, Myers, Cotton, McKay, Ollie Evans, Boateng, Lawson, Hearn, Abdul Malik, Bangura, Williams. That's one person. And the substitution, only one made, was Smith on from Mackay in 65 minutes. Subs not used with George Evans, the goalkeeper, Hammer Shane, and a trialist. So a trialist was brought on, was brought all the way over to Bristol to sit on the bench, and they didn't bring him on for some reason. Obviously, maybe they thought if the game was more comfortable, they would have brought him on. But you probably don't want to bring a player on. It's as close as it was. So there you go. Now we're going to move on to this. Now we're going to talk about the under-18 game tomorrow. I told you that I would tell you where you can watch it if new avenues popped up, and they did. But before we get to that, I'm going to put this little story, which is going to look a bit weird, because what happened was it's on the Mail Online, which is their website is a fucking joke. They put up an ad block prevention thing that the story wouldn't load if I didn't turn off my ad blocker. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna do that. So what I did, I pressed Control and P, and what that does is it grabs the page as it is when you press the buttons, and it loads it up as a print preview. So then you can scroll through at your heart's content. Because not only is it annoying that they're putting that ad blocker thing up, but if you turn off the ad blocker, the ads are absolutely insane. They've got 2 videos running on each side. They got banner ads. They got all this. It's like, bro, if you weren't so fucking egregious with your adverts, we wouldn't need to put the ad blocker on. But it's just ridiculous. So this, like I said, let's get to the actual story now. This was put up this evening, 7:39, updated 8:52. Metropolitan Police plan robust presence as Chelsea under-18s travel to Millwall in FA Youth Cup, as rivalry shown in the Football Factory renewed at the Den for the first time since 1995. So they seem to think that there's going to be some trouble at the game, and they are going to be putting out a load of police. Hopefully it's not too many, because are they going to send the bill to Millwall? So Millwall are going to have to pay the policing costs of a first team game for an under-18s FA Youth Cup quarter final. We don't need that at the moment. That's a kick in the teeth. We need that. That's probably why we haven't fired fucking Edwards. We need the money to pay this bill. So we don't need that. I don't know what's going on, but if there's any real chance of trouble, because obviously we did play them at Stamford Bridge a couple of years ago, didn't we? I think we didn't get that many tickets because I think it was just after COVID. And that was in the FA Youth Cup. But I think what they might have been doing is that, obviously on the forums and all that, a lot of people, like I said, are interested in this game. A lot of them have expressed interest in going to this game. And at the moment, Mill have still only got blocks 4, 5 and 6 on sale. But when they talk about the game, obviously they talk about Chelsea games of past, and they're talking about the games where there was a trouble, the ones in the 90s, the FA Cup games and such. So they're reminiscing about that. I don't think that means they're going to plan. There's any plan to do some kind of shit tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, let's get into this. A robust police presence is set to accompany Chelsea's FA Youth Cup quarter-final on Wednesday night as they travel to Millwall, reigniting a vicious rivalry which carries a history of violence. It is believed to be the first time since January 1995 that a Chelsea team has travelled to the... Right, it's kids. It's 17-year-old kids. That game, a goalless draw in the FA Cup, saw mounted police used to separate hooligans inside the stadium before the replay at Stamford Bridge led to even more extraordinary clashes. And a win for Millwall! Lovely jubbly! This rivalry was depicted in the 2004 film The Football Factory, and while the threat of hooliganism in English football has lessened over time, the Metropolitan Police said they have a plan in place for this meeting between the club's under-18 teams. The Met would not divulge details when asked on Tuesday, though thousands of supporters are expected to descend on the den, which can hold 20,000. Yeah, but like I said, like the club have only got blocks 4, 5, and 6 open or on sale at the moment. Maybe that's just for maybe but I think the club's being run like a fucking joke at the moment. A lot of us do. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Maybe they're selling in advance blocks 4, 5, and 6, and then all the walk ups, because all the people that walk up. How do I put this? Well, I'm actually going to be one of the ones that are going to walk up, but normally I would buy a ticket in advance. Well, it attracts a certain type of individual, shall we say, or what shall we say, like a certain type of gang of 12-year-olds and some weirdly their 18-year-old mate, which always how are all these 12, 13 and 14-year-olds going around with like an 18-year-old? Is he like the fucking Pied Piper or something? Like, it's all very weird, but you get like a gang of kids all coming in. It's all very weird, and they just fucking act like bellends. So maybe they are separating the walk-ups from the pre-orders. I don't know. If they are, then that's very smart of them. But at the moment, it looks like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. But hey ho, we'll find out afterwards when there's a massive crush and people have to leave the ground in tears because their kids are getting crushed. But we'll see. Chelsea received an away allocation of 1,956 at a cost of £5 per adult and £1 for those aged 16 or younger. And it doesn't say here, but I believe that has sold out. These two teams also met in the FA. Here we go. This is the one. The FA Youth Cup quarter-final in 2020 at Stamford Bridge, though the capacity for that fixture was capped at 2,700 in the hope of reducing the risk of crowd trouble. Now, here's another thing. There will be crowd trouble if I get down there and others get down there, and we can't get in because you're only selling blocks 4, 5, and 6, and you're not going to open the rest of the stand. Then there will be crowd trouble. If you lock out 500 fans, if you lock out 200 fans, so maybe that they've done that and they're not telling us. That will be a fucking recipe for disaster, and we'll see. But like, as an educated person looking at this from the outside, it looks like another complete fuck up by Millwall incoming. So prepare for this. Prepare for the video tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and see how we go. Millwall formally complained about that stance at the time, and their appeals with no restrictions placed on this Wednesday night showdown at the Den. Chelsea under-18s head coach Hassan Suleiman has warned his young players to expect a hostile welcome, saying on Tuesday, "We always talk about development, and this is it. And this is what they need in order to get where they want to be. They are not playing in front of 60,000 fans yet, but in a couple of years' time, some of them will be. So however many fans turn up, the boys have to be ready for a hostile environment and have to make sure that they're ready to perform. And I'm sure that they will be." And I believe that is it. Like I said, it's a bit weird, the formatting, because I had to scramble past the ad blocking nonsense. So yeah, there you go. So like I said, there's some weird stuff going on. Is it going to be overcrowded? Are they going to lock fans out? They're only selling blocks 4, 5, and 6. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Loads of police there, so hopefully there'll be some ambulances if there is a crush inside the stadium. Now, if you're not going, but you want to watch it, well, hey ho, you can watch it. I told you in yesterday's video, I told you that if you download the Chelsea app, you can watch it. Have you downloaded it yet? Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to do that because it's going to be on Millwall TV for free. You don't have to pay anything, but you do have to log in. If you don't have a Millwall login, which I'm sure most of us do because we need it to buy match passes and to listen to the games on the internet. So yeah, you can watch it. Supporters can watch Millwall Under-18s FA Youth Cup quarter-final live on Millwall TV for free. Laurie McAvoy and Chris Perry's side take on Chelsea in the last 8 at the Den on Wednesday night. Kick-off 7 p.m. with fans unable to make it to SC16 able to log in with their Millwall profile to support the team. Click the link below, log in and back the boys. Now, yet again, the Chelsea app stream said it was only available in the UK. Again here, they say the stream is only available in the UK. What's that about? Brexit? I don't know, but all very weird. Now, there is another way. So you've got 3 options. It's also going to be on the FA Player. If you know what that is, good luck to you. If you don't, basically it's like a video hosting service for live games that the FA created so they could put the women's games on because no one wanted to show them on television, and they literally show women's games to about 1,000 people. So, and every now and then they have the other game as well, like the under 17 England team or some shit like that. But they've actually got an FA Youth Cup quarter final now. Again. UK, excluding UK. You cannot watch this if you're outside the UK. What's going on with that? We live in a global marketplace, my friends. How are you supposed to make the pie bigger if you restrict it to one country? We live in a global village, my friends. Especially concerning the internet. But hey ho. Yeah, so if you're outside the UK, you'll need to use a VPN if you want to watch this, either through Millwall TV, through the FA Player, or for the Chelsea app. You have 3 avenues to watch it. You will need a VPN, so there you go. And you'll need to log into the FA Player. You need like a login and such. Which here's the when you get stuff for free, the price you're paying is your details, your personal details. That's the fee. It's not. That's why it's free, because they're making money off your email address and all that, and they're checking with Facebook like, what does this guy likes this team, sell him adverts for this and all that kind of shit. So it's all, they all talk to each other. They got cookies and all that shit. And that's what you're paying for, is your privacy. That's the fee. So it's free in a way, but you pay in other ways. I'm going to finish today's video by looking at the loan watch. Dramatic victory for Millwall loanee Grant. This is from millfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Kamal Grant played the full game as Bromley defeated Chesterfield 4-3 in the Vanarama National League on Saturday afternoon. There was to be a dramatic end at Hayes Lane. Sam Woods netted the winner 4 minutes into stoppage time against the league leaders, following on from Michael Cheek's hat-trick earlier in the game. The Ravens sit in second place and still 20 points behind the Spireites, but have extended their playoff cushion to 11 points. Elsewhere, Alex Mitchell was in action as Lincoln City defeated Exeter City 1-0 at Sincil Bank in the Sky Bet League 1. The Imps are up to 10th in the third tier and currently sit 11 points outside the top 6. Meanwhile, there were defeats for Nino Adam Maliki, 1-0 at Bradford City in the Sky Bet League 2, leaving Steve Morrison's side rooted to the bottom of the table. Well, they were rooted when he got there, so what's that about? Why are you saying it like that? They were rooted when he got there. And Dylan Adai, who's loaned at Eritham Belvedere, continued with a 3-0 loss at Sevenoaks Town. And the upcoming fixtures, there was a game today, Bromley Dagenham. That didn't go very well for Bromley because they were 2-0 up and it ended up being 2-2. So Kamal Grant did play in that game. Let's have a look. He played the full 90 minutes. They were 2-0 up and Dagenham and Redbridge came back 2-2. So, but like I said, it's hard for them. They're 20 points behind the first place. They're firmly in second place. They're in second place, which is the playoffs. They do a weird playoff system. I think it goes 2-2-7, but then they have like 7 playing 6, and then 6 plays 5, and then 5 plays 4. Like if you finish second, you wait around for a couple of weeks, and then you play the winner of the rest of the playoffs. So it's like a 1-game playoff for you. You don't have to panic. So it's kind of hard for them because they're in a playoffs. Then and they're probably not going to catch Chesterfield. So yeah, they're stuck in between. But there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.